Did you know that depression negatively impacts the lives of over 120 million people worldwide? You should also know that it affects a person's ability to work and socialize, thereby destroying the quality of life. Did you know that on average, depression is responsible for 850,000 deaths per year? Did you know that according to the National Institute of Mental Health, about 17.3 million people experience some form of depressive episode? Did you also know that depression symptoms became 3 times more common in the US during the coronavirus pandemic? As common as depression may be, its symptoms aren't easy to pinpoint. Frequent crying and overwhelming despair are not always related to depression. Frequently, the downward spiral is subtle. Hence, there's a big chance that the person won't notice. However, an attentive relative or friend might notice the change. Symptoms may gradually go from mild to wild. For example, it could start from choosing to stay home to watch TV instead of going out for a walk with a friend, then move to refusal to get out of bed and persistent thoughts of suicide. Meanwhile, other people may quickly go from mild to severe depressive episodes. Also, according to a report published in Stanford Medicine, depression can be hereditary. However, the study proposes that the cause of depression is 50% genetics and another 50% is unrelated to genetics. But whatever the cause may be, it is important to know when you need help against depression so you can treat it. In this video, we'll be doing just that. Here are 6 signs that you have depression. Feelings of guilt. If you regularly feel guilt or a sense of worthlessness, you could be dealing with depression. According to the American Psychiatric Association, or simply APA, this is because they believe that depressed people tend to feel guilty very easily. You should understand that you cannot and do not control everything in your life. Thus, it is important to know that things will go wrong sometimes, no matter what you do. If you find yourself feeling guilty, it's probably time to see a specialist in such situations. Physical symptoms that you can't explain. This generally stems from the fact that the mind and body are connected, hence depression may reveal itself in physical ways that resist treatment. According to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, aka ADAA, this may occur as a headache that won't go away or digestive issues. So if you consistently experience such in your body, it might be your body trying to tell you to go see a specialist. The emergence of your dark side. According to the APA, people who are depressed tend to become interested in death and generally negative topics and discussions. For instance, such individuals may start to explain what life would be like after their demise. Worse still, they start to picture that life becomes peaceful and beautiful once they die. Such people also tend to take uncalculated risks. You're no longer interested in activities that you're known to enjoy. This also comes with the notion that depressed people tend to feel guilty and worthless. For instance, a boy that once loved playing basketball with friends might suddenly stop hanging out on the court to play. Life starts to make less sense and happiness starts to come off as a mockery. This is really about noticing changes in you. These changes may provide concrete indications that your mood is changing. Your eating/sleeping patterns have changed. The common belief is that a low appetite is probably an indication of depression. However, many depressed people actually eat excessively so as to cope with the depression. The same can be said about sleeping. Both sleeping more, hypersomnia, and sleeping less, insomnia, are possible signs of depression. Increase in energy. You might think that depressed people are normally slow and dull, but that's usually because they haven't set their minds on something. Although, ironically, such people make a decision to do something drastic like suicide, they suddenly become far more energetic. According to the report from ADAA, this results from a sense of relief in having come to a resolution. Unfortunately, this can manifest as reckless driving, risky sexual behavior, and so on. You should note that none of these signs is in itself indication of depression. However, symptoms of depression are particularly troubling if a person displays more than one and for long periods. Seeking the help of a specialist might be advisable. Remember that depression is not just a psychological issue, it's also physiological and biological. You can learn more in the next video. See you there.